Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones, or as I like to call myself, your mistress for Christmas. And that doesn't sound right, but we'll go with it anyway. Today, I'm very excited because I'm collaborating with my sweet, wonderful friends who also have a love for shabby chic. Today I'm collaborating with my dear friends Erin of the Provincial Farmhouse, Myra of Farm Fresh Designs 59, Jody at Southern Seasons, and Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling. We all love shabby chic and wanted to bring you some shabby chic inspirations for Christmas. If you've been following my channel, you know that I've been working on a kitschy 1950s, 1960s Christmas for a 100-year-old estate. So forgive me if my transition back into shabby chic is a little sketchy because I came up with this wonderful idea, but I do believe it's very shabby chic. First, we're going to start off with a Dollar Tree doll head. And yes, just take off all of her hair. We're going to need to take off all of her hair. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm a little rough on her, but it's a doll head, people. It's a doll head. So we're going to recreate those famous or infamous doll head vases that were so popular in the 50s and the 60s. I have been looking at them online and they're incredibly priced, and I can't find any in the thrift stores near me. So I decided it was time to take things into my own hands and make one of my own. So here, as you can see or not see on the side there, I am cutting off the top of this poor doll's head. I started first with a styrofoam cutter to get through the plastic and then used a scissor for the rest of the way since I didn't want to inhale any plastic toxic fumes, okay? And I suggest you try to do the same. You can use a razor or just a knife and you can get through it just fine. Now I'm using some air dry clay, and of course I'm going to also add a base. Since her base is very limited, is very small, very flat, I wanted to create a base so she can have some shoulders. Now, do you or someone you know have one of these doll head vases? I mean, they're a little strange and a little creepy. And I always thought they were much larger than this, but actually many of the common ones that you see out there are around this size. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding clay to the top of her head to create some hair, obviously. And you'll see that with the air dry clay, it's so easy to do. Now, yes, she has something on the top of her head, but I wouldn't necessarily call it hair. So I decided I had to give her a stylish updo. I think it was only necessary. So, because it is very important, if you've seen these little doll heads, not doll heads, these, what are they called? The head vases? It's so weird. It's just really weird. Head vases. And apparently they used to use this. A florist actually started the whole craze and using these little head vases to create little floral arrangements that could be given as gifts for any occasion. It didn't necessarily have to be for, Valentine's Day or anything else, and even could be given between friends. It was a very kitschy kind of in thing to do. So there was a lot of women out there that started a collection of their own little doll head vases. And they were literally around this size, around 4 or 5 inches, and it would have a small little bouquet. So I just think they're adorable. I mean, at first I thought they were just weird and creepy, but I think I've gotten into this kitschy stuff really bad. I love all this like weird, creepy kind of cutesy kind of stuff, like those weird Santas and elves. I mean, really, but I do love them. Once I have her hair styled properly, now I'm adding the details just to make it look like it's real hair. I'm scoring through the clay and just making it seem like it's real hair. She kind of looks like Elsa. I don't know, she kind of looks like Elsa. But I will make some changes to her actual face. I will paint over the plastic to try to make it a little less plasticky, and you'll see the results later. I forgot to film it, but you'll see it later. But this just takes overnight to dry, and then you can go ahead and start painting your lovely doll head vase or head vase creation. Next, we definitely have to add a little hat for her. After all, she's a lady of the 1950s, and she more than likely had a little hat on her lovely little head. So here I'm just creating a little bit of a rim, because, or a brim, I should say, a brim for her hat, because that's all you're really going to see, because inside of that hole, you'll see that we'll fill it up. And as you can see, I just folded over or created a little pleat to just have that little hat around about her head. And of course, I'm going to futz around with the clay. I love that. You're going to futz around with the clay and just make it how you need the hat to look, and make a little fascinator. I have a thing with hats, don't I, people? Yes, I do. And see, it makes a lovely brim to a hat that won't exist, actually, because the inside of her head will be filled with something else you'll see very soon. Earlier, you saw me cut off the bottom of one of those styrofoam cones from Dollar Tree, and now I'm just going to glue that on to the doll head, just to give a little bit of a height and just a little bit more of a base for this doll head vase. And now I'm using my IOD ribbon mold that I got from L&J Goods, Lynn and Megan. They are so sweet, and I love to represent them as having all these wonderful, not only IOD products, but Tim Holtz and so many other paint products. So if you can, check her out. I'll have her details down below. But here I'm using the mold to create a bit of a wrap, a nice elegant wrap. And I thought this ribbon mold was perfect with all the pleating. It is a really, really nice mold, and I hadn't used it until right now. So I'm so excited to get started on some more wonderful Christmas decor ideas with this mold. Now, all I did was I did use a little bit of just wood glue or white glue, whatever you want to use, and just attach them together. And I don't think you can see it here, but I had put glue on the actual vase itself, just at the bottom of there. And now all I have to do is just, when I add the second part of the wrap that she'll have around her neck, like a little scarf, then I just have to add, I think I added a little glue there, and that's what you didn't see. And there she is. Now she's ready to sit and wait for me until she dries, until the next evening. Now, there she is. We have to name her, don't we? Oh, goodness. Yes, we have to name her. But as you can see, I also kind of made her face look a little bit more ceramic. I did like a little bit of a whitewash on her skin, and I used plastic paint. Yes, there's plastic paint at Folk Art. I think it's Folk Art with Plaid. And I just mixed a little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink, and a little bit of white to make that light beigey color, because I did want to make it look like the whole piece was made of porcelain. And there are some little kitty cat feet, as you see. It's very interesting when I'm trying to do something and I'm scared that they're going to mess it up or make me drop it, but they're very, very cautious with me. They know that my work area, when I'm working on it, that, you know, they can't just step all over the place, and they're very careful not to step in paint. I'm very amazed. I think they did it once and they learned, because they've never stepped in my paint, which is, I mean, that's really strange for cats not to do. So here I'm just painting her with this lovely retro minty green, because I thought it would be perfect for Shabby Chic to be minty green and pink. Those are my colors for this project that I am doing. And although the hat looks a little messy, little hat brim and stuff, don't worry about it. Have fun with it, because remember, all of this that you see up here is going to be covered. You won't see any of it. Believe me, you're not going to see any of it at all. Now, I was trying to decide on what hair color to give this young lady, and I was in between blonde and red, and then I even thought of like really dark black hair, and then I came up with this like auburny color, which is like a brownish color with a little bit of blonde, a little bit of red, a little bit of everything basically. And I liked it because it was kind of a neutral color. It wasn't necessarily dark, it wasn't necessarily a redhead, because, you know, there was always redheads back in that time period. They loved redheaded women. And I do too. I love doing, like you saw my redheaded witch, which I also used a Barbie doll head for. But I thought this auburny color was appropriate, and I thought it matched very well with the mint green and with the pink, so it didn't clash too much. I thought dark hair like mine, like really black hair, would be too dark. But here I think she is looking lovely. So after I give her a hair dye, we'll be ready to go once she's dry, and we can continue with the rest of the painting of this doll head vase. Now, of course, it's time for her makeup, and we got to give her some vampy eyelashes. If you look at these vases, most of them had like partially closed eyes and these big eyelashes. So I thought I wanted to do the same effect without, trying to recreate like ceramic eyelashes. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but I just wanted to give her more like, glamorous look with those, cat eye eyeliner, and just give her some fake lashes just to make her a little more glammed up. And I think just using a Sharpie is pretty good. Although I have to warn you, after a while the Sharpie wouldn't work because it was trying to work on that matte plastic paint, which worked very well. It didn't wipe off or anything. It was fantastic. But it did affect my Sharpie pen eventually. So I just used a very fine brush and did the rest of her makeup. As you can see here, I'm doing her eyebrows. Madame needed some nice eyebrows. Those eyebrows that were so famous back in the 50s and the 40s. I don't know if she looks more like the 40s or the 50s. Either way, I think she looks lovely. And as you can see there on the side, I have my phone with a face as a reference, with a little doll head or a head vase as a reference. And they look like they would be bigger, but they are actually around the same size as this is. At least many of them that have survived, they're smaller vases. And if you find one of those big vases, well, you are in luck. And since we're on the topic again, I need to name her. So give me some names back from that time, like Donna or Madge or Myra. I don't know. Give me some fun names from that time era. I think I would love to name her and maybe create another one. I would love to have a little collection of these. I would actually love to find a real one out there that I can afford. But now we have to give her a nice, luscious red lip. Now this doll originally had some teeth, but I'm going to cover the teeth with some lipstick because for the most part they were very demure and didn't smile and show their teeth, but they definitely had a very vampy red lip because I thought pink would be cute simply to match with, the pink attire that I'm going to give her. But honestly, red is the way to go, especially with this retro vintage look. Next, let's paint up that little wrap she has around her shoulders. And of course, I'm going to give it a lovely light pink color, which is, again, very in for that era and very in now for a Shabby Chic Christmas. So you have to tell me, did I miss it when it comes to Shabby Chic Christmas with this idea? I thought it kind of fit in and still had a little bit of a kitschy vibe, but because of the coloring, I definitely feel that this would fall into a very nice Shabby Chic Christmas decor. So I hope that you like this idea, and I hope you try it out. If you see one of these doll heads at the Dollar Tree and you have a few hours to spare, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a few hours, and you have to wait a couple of days in between because you have to wait until the clay dries and the paint dries. But I think it was well worth it in the end, and I love it, and I can't wait to find another Barbie head to create this. Actually, I'm on the hunt for those big Barbie heads, the ones that you used to practice makeup on and stuff. So I'm looking in my thrift stores because if I do find a bigger one, or actually I can use a styrofoam head from Hobby Lobby. Let me think about that. Maybe I will come back and make a larger version of this because I'm really, really into it now. By the way, if you're enjoying what you see so far, please remember to like, share, and subscribe as I build my community to 25,000 viewers by December 25th. So help me out and join this wonderful family and learn a little more and have some fun with us. After all the paint is nice and dry, now we're going to gloss her up. I almost felt like a beautician, like, darling, you need a little bit of moisturizer. So I'm using my high gloss Mod Podge to cover. And can you tell I was like a little tenuous, like, oh, am I doing the right thing? I don't want to mess this up. But it's Mod Podge, it'll be fine. But I definitely wanted to give that porcelain kind of look. So I made sure to not just do one coat, I did do 2 coats of this wonderful like high gloss Mod Podge. Or if you have any other gloss, I would definitely use that because it just gives it such a different look. I mean, look at it already. It's not even dry yet, and it will dry glossy like this, but it already makes it look like it's porcelain, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Again, I just let her dry thoroughly, and look at her, it looks like porcelain. You would never have guessed that this was plastic and air dry clay, and that's exactly what I was going for. Now here I decided that she's going to be one of these wacky ladies that wears a Christmas tree hat. And I was trying out all these little Christmas trees that I had from the Dollar Tree, and then I remembered I had Tim Holtz little Christmas tree set that I got, and look at this. I love this color. You can actually, the difference with the Tim Holtz trees is you can actually dye them. You can use alcohol ink to dye them. And originally I thought of dyeing it like, either a pink or a mint green, but I actually like this beigey color because now I can use the mint and pink as part of the decor and not necessarily just the main color of the hat. First things first though, I did put a little bit of styrofoam in the doll's head. We always forget that she's actually plastic, so I wanted to make sure that that little tree had something to hold on to. Now, very carefully and patiently, I just listened to some vintage Christmas music and added these little pearls as ornaments. As you remember, I made ornaments out of these little pearls. I got this set of colorful pearls on clearance. I think it was like $2 for that huge bucket of these beads, these wonderful pearlized beads. So I am just adding all the colors, remembering that back in the day they used to decorate with all the different colors, and I went hog wild. I didn't want it just to be pink and light green. I really wanted to be happy and colorful and something that you would actually see on these doll head vases or these head vases. And here I am adding this trim that was silver and pink. I actually got that on clearance during the summertime, and it was very, very inexpensive. I think it was 79 cents. And there you can see a little cattail, as she is very dangerously close to my hot glue gun. I hadn't noticed that before, but once she fell asleep, she was fine. Of course, we have to add some wonderful earrings, and of course I have these wonderful little rhinestone earrings. Everything's wonderful, isn't it? I like it. These rhinestone earrings were actually perfect. They were just rhinestone beads that I had in my collection of stuff, and I think they're absolutely perfect for her look. Look at that. She's all glammed up and ready to go. Now let's put a tacky tree on top of her. She looks all elegant, and it's like, okay, let's put this tacky tree on top. And okay, so forgive me if I say this, but I've been thinking of making myself a Christmas tree hat. Tell me how insane that is. Please tell me. Somebody talk me out of it. But I want to make myself a Christmas tree hat. We have a cocktail party at the Deering Estate, and we are encouraged. Look at this. Look, that's one of my examples that I was like, oh no, I have to put more stuff on there. So that's what I want to make for this very swanky cocktail party that we're going to have at the Deering Estate to celebrate Christmas. But they're asking us to dress according to the rooms that we decorated. So yeah, I'm going to have to be kitschy, cute, and a little tacky. Tacky on the side of, oh, that's interesting. That's the kind of tacky I want to be. If I'm going to be tacky, I want to be not like, ew, that's tacky. It's like, oh, that's tacky. Is there a difference? I don't know. You tell me. So here I'm adding, after I saw that one example, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go hog wild now. I had tinsel, so I added some of that mini tinsel that I had. I added this little garland of little snowflakes. I added those balls that were way too big, but I didn't care anyway. And I added some lovely little pink roses that I had in my stash. Everything that I had in my stash was fair game. I was just trying to find anything and everything that I could add to this. And those little candy canes were perfect. And I just, once I was all done and then looking at the examples that I had, as you can see there's a bunch. Don't go on Pinterest. You'll get lost in there. But once I had all of these examples, I felt like I think I matched the vibe of this hat perfectly. Look at that. See, look at this little face. And I love the ones with the little hands, but those are very, very rare to find. So once again, here is my retro kitschy Christmas shabby chic doll head vase. I hope you tried this out for yourself, and I hope you have as much fun as I did creating this. Okay, now let's get serious. Let's get into shabby chic. And what's more shabby chic than these wonderful gilded frames from the Dollar Tree? So first things first, let's get that chalkboard. It's actually chalkboard. This is wonderful if you have a wedding or even now for Christmas parties and you need to have like table numbers. This is a perfect opportunity to get these if you can find them. Now, I felt like the gold was too yellowy gold, too plasticky gold, so I decided to mute it just by using this wonderful matte paint from Folk Art. And I was once again surprised at how well it stuck to the plastic. So I didn't have to necessarily use plastic paint. I could have used this for the little face before, but it works really, really well. I wanted just to mute down the gold, not completely cover it, and just make it this taupey color. And I do bring in a little bit of antique wax afterwards. Here I'm brushing a little bit off with this, very I guess it's like a cutoff brush that I use for dry painting, and it works wonderful just to show off a little bit of the gold within that taupe. Now I have to say I'm still easing back into shabby chic, so this did come out a little kitschy too, but I am going to use that blackboard or whatever, that insert that's in that frame, and I'm going to cover it with some of this paper. And I love the color of the paper, and you'll see how well it matches with the subject matter that I'm going to put inside. Once I Mod Podged the paper, I did use a little antique wax so it wasn't so bright pink and so bright white in the background. So here I am just adding not just the antique wax to the paper, but I did add it to the frame as well. And as you can see there on the side is the subject matter that I'm going to include. I had found this Santa in my stash that I was going to use at the Deering estate and decided to keep it for myself because it was just so cute. But again, I apologize. It went kitschy, so it's shabby kitschy. I don't know, shabby meets kitschy? I think so. I kind of like it. I think it's cute. But I did kind of like that antique kind of colored paper in the background with this brightly colored, bright white, beard and the bright pink striped hat. And I believe this is from Walmart, and I think they're only like $1.98. They're very inexpensive. So if you need this, if you want to recreate this, you can do this you can get it at Walmart. Then I'm adding this wonderfully wired ribbon, which I felt gave it more of a shabby chic kind of look. And I added a little bit of greenery again to just kitschy it down a little and make it a little more shabby chic, and I think it turned out adorable. I did add some ribbon to the top as well to be able to hang it up anywhere I like, but it does have a back that it's a frame that you can put on the tabletop anywhere you like, and I like it. I hope you like it too. All right, now for some real shabby chic. This is a shabby chic design that I created back in summertime, and I love that frame. I kept it gold, and I'm going to keep it gold once again, but I pulled out the frame, and I'm just using the back of this I couldn't find any other canvas in my stash. I didn't want to go out and buy another canvas, but I had this wonderful decoupage paper, again, from L&J Goods. It's so beautiful. Look at that lovely little girl and that tree. This is truly shabby chic. This is going to be in my bedroom for Christmas time, and I'm excited. I don't usually decorate my room for Christmas, but I think this year I'm going to make the extra effort. Like, I need more effort to make another Christmas tree room or a Christmas room, but I'm going to try at least a few little touches here and there, and I think this framed artwork will be just perfect. Now I am using the medium that's called Fusion Decoupage and Transfer Gel that also came from L&J Goods, and I decided let me give it a try. I hadn't tried it before. I have to say I do like the results. I did use my iron just to make sure I didn't have that crease in the middle of that decoupage paper, and now I'm just adding a little bit of glitz with like a little like snowy kind of glittery on the tree, and I also added a little bit of gold glitter to the angel wings, and I'm just touching up. I'm not doing the whole tree in its entirety. I'm not going to cover up the flowers or anything. I'm just trying to make it look like snow has landed on the branches, just to give a little bit of glimmer. Not so much, flash and pizzazz glitter, but more just a little shimmer. And of course, it's always nice to have a little shimmer, especially during Christmas time. Now, once I was done, I just plopped that back into the same frame. And of course, now I have two designs on that canvas, so I can just switch it over when Christmas is done. I don't even want to think about Christmas being done. I feel like we're just getting into it, even though I've been crafting for it for over a month now, I guess, since October. But I really enjoy the Christmas season, and I wish it would just last a little longer. But there you have it. Now, there's nothing more important than lights for Christmas, and I just got these Decor light system, and it's the LED puck lights Pro. And what it is are these little light pucks that you can just stick anywhere, literally anywhere. They're magnetized, so once you put the little sticker wherever you want, you can move the puck lights however you want, and you just have to charge them, and they're so easy and wonderful to use. You just have to charge them. It takes around 2 to 3 hours to charge them up, and you have an USB ports for that. And just following the instructions, again, you have a wonderful remote control, so you can even control the color of the lights if you want them to glow, whatever you need. What a wonderful way to light up the kitchen during the holiday season, especially if you have guests staying over. It's a nice way to have some low lights in your kitchen background so you don't have to have the lights on all the time. It does save a lot of money to have these little lights in your kitchen or anywhere you need them, because you can just light up the area you need when you need it. And of course, with the remote control, it makes it that much easier. And of course, what can you do with fun, colorful lights like this? Well, anything you like. So add any kind of lighting or any color to any little corner of your home and make it even more colorful and more fun with Decor lights. There's more information about this product in my description down below. Thank you again to Jody at Southern Seasons for hosting this Shabby Chic Christmas collaboration, together with our friends Erin from the Provincial Farmhouse, Myra of Farm Fresh Designs 59, and Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling. They are a wonderful source of not only inspiration, but true supportive friendship. And I am very blessed to be part of this playlist this week. Please check out each one of their channels and the full playlist down below. Thank you again for stopping by, and if you're inspired, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you're off to a wonderful holiday season, and I hope we're inspiring you to do so. As always, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and I will see you very soon with my next crafting adventure.